I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Gary Sellers, co-inventor of this system. In our system, this isn't a worry any longer. You just simply install one of our inserts at a fraction of the cost of replacing the cylinder head. It takes as little as 15 to 25 minutes in some cases.
And I'd like to show you what our kit consists of. First, we have the insert, specially designed to accept a Ford OEM spark plug. We have a specially machined high-precision guide. We have a specially designed 4-flute bit with a close tolerance fit to the guide. And we have the special tap designed with a depth marker in place.
Let's go over the tools necessary to installing an insert other than our kit. A standard pair of pliers, a spark plug socket 5/8, 3/8 extensions in an assortment of different lengths, a borescope. This is a Provision 100. It works fine. A quality air ratchet. A cheap air ratchet will get you in trouble. It needs to be smooth for the installation of this insert. A starter button to move the engine and position the valves prior to the drilling and machining of this head. A cylinder leak detector to confirm that the valves are positioned properly and that the cylinder will hold air and without leaks. A blowgun. This gun will be modified with a piece of tubing to blow out the filings in the combustion chamber after we've done the machine work. For demonstration purposes, we've rolled this engine on its side. Always wear safety glasses when you're doing this procedure, installation of inserts. We're going to tape the engine off the cylinders that are not necessarily going to be drilled and messed with. We will keep the material out of them by taping these other holes off. The only hole that will be visible will be the cylinder number 5 on this modular engine. As you can see, it's got a spark plug well right here. Next, we will apply shop air to our cylinder leak detector holes. You may be able to hear a slight leak coming from this. This is 60 cubic feet per hour of volume. We may have as much as 150 pounds of shop air that is metered through slowly so that you still have the pressure but minimal volume. Now we will put shop air into this hole. The shop air is leaking somewhere in the system. It's either going by an intake valve or an exhaust valve. Now if I had a starter button, I would literally bump the engine over similar to that to position the valves and the piston. But because I don't, we will take this ratchet and I'll slowly turn the engine. When the valves come closed, it will literally push this out of the cylinder. Okay, let's confirm that it will hold pressure. We have no leak. Okay, the next step in the procedure is to take a borescope. And we will look down in the cylinder and see where that piston's at. It's got to be at least 3 to 4 inches down from the top. Okay, it looks like it's almost on the bottom. The next step in the procedure is to take your guide, your precision guide, and your drill bit. We will walk over here. I need to get some lubrication. We'll put a little lubrication down inside the cylinder. We'll put some on the bit itself. We'll put some on the guide. We like to keep things lubed up. Literally, you just drop this in the cylinder. Now you take your air ratchet, get our shop air back. I need to come over here. And get this 1/2-inch socket that Mike referred to when he was explaining the components. We'll put that on the air ratchet. And now we'll use the air ratchet as a drill motor. And it's through. As it went through, it rested on these stops, so it can't go any further. It can't fall into the combustion chamber. Now we take the pliers we referred to, and we bring the unit out. Okay. The next step in the process is to evacuate some of these shavings. We take our modified air gun and hose. We drop this down inside the cylinder. Now this is where safety glasses are an absolute must. We'll put a rag over it to keep this from going all over the shop, and we'll just blow air through here, which will remove all the shavings. Now to confirm that the shavings are out of the cylinder, we'll look in here with our borescope. Okay, it's absolutely clean. That's all the longer that usually takes. The next step in the procedure is to get your guide one more time, slip your tap inside of it. Again, we use a lot of lubrication. As a unit, you slip them back into the cylinder. Take your air ratchet. Light pressure. Just let it follow itself through. It stopped right at our cutout so that we know we've reached maximum depth. We reverse the air ratchet. Bring that out. Remove the assembly. We're done with those components. Once again, you take your modified blowgun, use a shop towel to drape over it. This will deflect any of these cuttings from blowing into your face. Once again, we will take our borescope, we will drop it back down inside the cylinder and examine the top of the piston to see if we've left any shavings in there. There is not one shaving left in this engine. I would say that getting the shavings out of this engine is the very most important part of this procedure. We take our spark plug and our insert. The spark plug now becomes an installation tool. With the exception, it will remain in there. We do not remove the spark plug once we put it in there until it's due for a scheduled PM and a tune-up. The next thing we'll do is we'll mix up some JB weld or a compound referred to as Marine Tex works equally as well. We will do equal parts. Get that mixed up really well. When I put this on the threads, I will usually put it closer to the bottom and coat all the way around. Now, as this sealing compound works up the threads, there's a relief cut in this insert purposely that will form a gas check where this material will work up the threads and it will lock that insert in and create a gas tight seal. We drop the spark plug down the hole, give it a turn or two with your fingers. Take your shop air and your ratchet. Now, we snug this down to approximately 20 foot-pounds. A torque wrench would be nice, but you get the idea. One of the problems with this engine in its natural habitat is you can't get a torque wrench in there. So you have to rely on feel. Take a torque wrench and learn what 20 foot-pounds feels like. The job is completed. If this was in a vehicle, we would put our coil back on top of the spark plug, hook up the injector again, and this job's completed. The actual work part of it probably didn't take me 10 minutes. It's a very good system. The customer's out the door, he's satisfied, his pocketbook's saved, he doesn't spend a great deal on costly repairs of replacing cylinder head, and the technician wins.